Today we're going to look at the subtraction strategy of compensating. Compensating means that I take the numbers in the problem and I switch them out for easier numbers so that the problem becomes more simple. To understand how to do this, first I'm going to use a very simple problem. Let's imagine that I have a bag of 15 apples and I'm going to eat 9 of those apples. How many will I have left over? Well, taking 9 away from 15 sometimes can be tricky. But I know that if I took away 10 apples all at once, that would be very easy to do. So instead of taking away 9, I want to take away 10. But if I take away 10 apples from 15, I'm not going to have as many apples left over because I've taken away more apples. So in order to make sure that I end up with the same amount of apples in my answer, I need to add more apples to my bag that I started with. To go from 9 to 10, I added 1 more apple, which means that I am going to take away 1 more apple than I should. To make sure that I end up with the same amount of apples, I'm going to add 1 apple to my original bag. And that way, in the end, the one that I added will be taken away as well. When I add 1 to 15, I have 16. So now, I'm going to start with 16 apples and take away 10. That's the same as saying that I started with 15 apples and taking away 9. 16 minus 10 is 6. So in the end, 15 minus 9 is also going to be 6. I'll have 6 leftover apples. So now let's take a look at how this might look with a problem with much larger numbers. If I'm going to look at the number 435 and take away 287, I know that if I was going to do that in one try, it would be very difficult. So I'm going to change these numbers to something more easy to take away. I know that if I added 3 to 287, that would get me 290. That's a much easier number to use. So I'm going to change that number to 290. But remember, if I change how many I take away, I have to change how many I start with. If I take away 3 more, then I need to have 3 more to take away. So I'm also going to add 3 to 435 to get 438. Now I could take 438 minus 290, but 290 is still a difficult problem. I'm going to make it even easier. I know that if I add 10 to 290, I'll get 300. And that's a very easy number to use. But remember, if I take away 10 more, I need to add 10 to what I started with. So I'm going to add 10 to my original number, 438, to get 448. And now this problem becomes very simple. I can do 448 minus 300 in my head. All I have to do is take away from the hundreds place. 448 minus 300 is 148. So my answer to 435 minus 287 is 148.